I had an idea for a new Brawl Stars video, but it's not gameplay this time. It's gonna be more on arts today. Happy New Year everyone! And for this first artwork I made in 2025, it's gonna be a little difficult. So, I have been drawing for almost 5 years and I want to take it to the next level. I'm gonna replicate these iconic Brawl Stars arts where they put them in loading screens and such or on their socials. And I was curious, will I be able to draw like the artists in Brawl Stars? Well, maybe I can with these art studies. Making my own loading screen with my character will take loads of time because of how slow I am. But I will try my best to study their art style and make my own loading screen. It will be fun, I tell you. And I have prepared 3 brawlers for me to draw. The first brawler I have sketched is this beautiful Kenji art. This is a Brawl Pass skin and it's really good, and I wanted to draw it. But the hardest part about these artworks is trying to make the art as accurate as possible. And I was close, but the sketch looks good overall. I wanted to trace to make it perfectly accurate, and I realized that I actually don't want to rely on it all the time. Tracing is good for art studies and exercises, but for this, I wanted to make it a little difficult and put a challenge for myself. The reason that it's a challenge is to take my time and not procrastinate because of the study. I know that it's gonna take me pretty long, but hey, at least I'll always try my best, and it's gonna be fun. And to make this easier, I had to bring a reference, which most artists do, especially at the coloring part. And the second part is line art! Yeah, this is sort of the most boring part, because why do I have to draw the same thing again when I just finished sketching? Well, I had no choice because this is part of something important. Unless if you are curious of what is line art gonna do to make it semi-realism, it's just to put the base colors and other stuff because it's pretty hard to explain actually. Next is putting the base colors. I just used the magic wand to select the background and inverted selection because my line art is clean anyway, so it makes it easier to color it. I mean, this part is literally the easiest part of making these artworks. Shading. This part was time consuming, but I managed. And if any of you guys are wondering, the app I use is Clip Studio Paint. And this art app is the best. I can use my favorite Riot Artist's brush with no restrictions, unlike the other one. But anyway, I like this part at least because I watched this special tutorial that is really helpful, and I'll put the Photoshop brushes down below. And I'm pretty surprised that there isn't any difficult shading stuff, but it was just time consuming. I didn't like it though because I procrastinate a lot. That's why I don't record time lapses and instead just download them. Oh, and by the way, I'm planning to make a Ko-Fi or Patreon really soon. I'm not planning to post my time lapses for free, but I just had a thought that maybe my art is not that worthy to be not free. But hey, I'm still pretty young, I still have time to think about it, and I also try to post my tutorials there if I know how to make one. In this official art, it looks like it had simple values, and in values, it refers to the lightness or darkness of a color, which is a critical element in creating depth, form, and visual interest in the composition. It focuses attention, conveys mood, defines shapes and textures, and shows how intense or not intense of the art can be. And here's my breakdown of dark parts, because in shading, you don't have to prioritize the lighting because it's shade. And in my preference, I prefer to leave the lighting in a different layer. And then here's coloring, the most confusing part, because I had to figure out what tone curve and how to balance the colors out on how to make it look accurate. And so here it is. The amount of switches and fixing the stuff were a lot. I never thought that I would not give up on this video and artwork, but I had to, for my subscribers and for myself. And here it is, the final coloring result. I struggled a bunch of times at the white parts on his torso because it was mostly shaded purple, and I had to try different types of gradient maps, which obviously did not work because it changed the whole color of the thing. But I finally fixed it anyway. And the artwork doesn't look professional at all because it's pretty saturated. It's too saturated. I tried to desaturate it and it looks like desaturated, and then when I saturate it, it looks like too saturated. I don't know what to do, and to fix this, I had no idea how to fix this, but at least I sorta fixed it a little, and it looks pretty good overall. It doesn't look that accurate, but it looks like it's helped. It's good anyway, who cares? And the next brawler I'm gonna be drawing is Ash. This is a special request from a good friend and one of my subscribers, and he deserves so much more attention. And honestly, I'm glad that he got a hypercharge, and I hope this video gives him more fans. Ignore the Kenji sketch there, it's just there. Sorry about that. I lost ideas of yapping since I already explained on how I'm gonna paint these artworks. So enjoy the time lapse and have fun seeing Ash. look at that. I'm honestly proud of this art study because it took me a lot of effort to make it accurate. The Kenji one looks too saturated, and the Ash one, his trash bin's shape is a little different and a bit wobbly. But overall, I'll rate this study as 8 out of 10, minus points from the mild inaccuracies. There are more flaws to this artwork, but it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it looks like the brawlers, I think I'll be fine. And the third brawler I'm drawing is gonna be pretty special. And it's me. Yeah, it's cringe, I know, but I had an art idea, and after those 2 artworks, I think I can draw my character pretty good. Sketching is the hardest part for me because of how difficult it is to replicate the BRAWL STARS art style. I'm more used to Valorant-like art, and I made her coat pretty flat like paper because she wants to be covered but at the same time not to be too covered, so she gets some cold. And I had a little thought of the BRAWL STARS body type because it's stylized. I don't know whether to give her hip dips and tummy and such, since I barely see any other female brawlers to have ones except for B and Pam. As you can see, I used to be insecure of my tummy, but I don't really care about it anymore and started to embrace it more, and it was the best decision I made yet. I'm uncomfortable sharing more of my insecurities, but I am comfortable sharing this one. So if you ever sometimes get body dysmorphia like me, I just want to say that you're beautiful just the way you are, like me. Ignore everyone what they say to you, what they talk about you. Just be chill and nonchalant as long as it doesn't end in a violent way. So, in case of some people are curious, her lore is more focused on the dark side of Star Park. I'm not gonna go full on details yet, but I am gonna highlight that her self-defense alarm and the heart stuff on her eyes are pretty important to her lore. And this is the final artwork. I kind of like it. It's not accurate, but some of my friends like it at least. So if they think it's good, then I think it's good for me too. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys like this art video. I think I'll try and focus more on BRAWL STARS gameplay next. And Meeple's gonna be released soon, so I'm gonna make a video about them. So excited!